Hey guys, what's up? So we just hooked my house up with an emergency backup. I wired it into the main panel so we could use a generator in case we're out of power for a few days. And I'm going to go through it a little bit, talk to you about it, show you how this should be properly installed, and kind of explain as I walk through. And what you never want to do is take a generator like this and hook it directly into your boiler or something like that through the dryer outlet. I know people do that, but it's not the best way to do it. The way we've hooked it up is the way you should have it done, and it's something to think about. And I've been in this house for about 20 years, and there was a time where we had a nice storm, about 12 years ago, when I was out of power before Christmas, like a week and a half. And my fear was that the pipes are going to freeze in the house. So as long as I can get the boiler up and running, get some heat into the house, you're good to go. And I'm going to explain all that to you, show you what the procedure is, and I think you'll enjoy this video. All right, so for starters, I have a Generac generator, and it's 6,800 watts on startup. Then it kind of drops down to 5,500 watts. It's plenty to power what I need to power. So I can power my boiler off of this, a few lights in the house, and make sure there's some heat in the house and stuff like that. So the outlet's right here that we plug into, and then we got a big meaty cord right here. You need to get one of these cords to plug into the generator, and then there's an outlet that we put in the house over here. And this is the end of the cord, and then there's a light right here. We'll show you how this all works, and it locks in, the cord locks into this outlet. It kind of twists and locks in so it can't pull out. And let's go downstairs and look at the panel. So right here is our main panel, and we have what's called a transfer switch right here. So if the power is off in the house, basically you shut, I'm going to demonstrate this way, you shut the breaker off, you flip the switch up, and then it locks this in place so it can't be switched over. Then you switch over to the generator power, which is right here. We put a separate switch in for the to get generator power into the fuse panel. So I'm going to show you how this all operates and show you what's involved with it. So if you're interested in having your panel set up this way for emergency uses, this is how it should operate. Okay, so what we're going to do is going to pretend that the power is off in the house. So I'll get my generator here, and I'm going to grab the other end of my cord to power the house. And this locks into place, so I've got to put the cord in like this, and twist it, and the lock, give it a tug, it's locked into place. And we're going to grab the other end. We're going to connect it to our outlet right here. And it's the same kind of way. There's on the end there's like one plug that's shaped like a hockey stick. That's this outlet right there. So you're going to match those up. Then twist it. It'll lock into place. Give it a little tug. It's secure. And now we're going to go start the generator. Okay, so I'm going to fire up my generator, follow the standard startup procedure, and I'm going to let it warm up for a minute before transferring over downstairs to backfeed into the house. So the procedure on mine is to start. It's already warm, so it might not need the choke. The fuel is on. Make sure your fuel is on. Give it a pull. Now my box that I connect to, this one's kind of cool, it has the light on it, so I know that there's power going into the box and through that circuit into the panel in the house. Okay, so we're going to pretend there's a blackout, there's no power to the house, maybe there's a snowstorm or something like that, a tree branch fell. That's happened to me a couple of times. You're out of power. According to the directions that came with the transfer switch, this is the procedure that you would use. Okay, so we're going to assume that the power coming into the house is off. So you're going to shut off all of your high load breakers, like your stove and your dryer, your water heater if you have one. All these double poles, you're going to have to shut them down. And this one right here, I know goes to my boiler, so I'm going to shut that off as well. So where the power comes into your house is through here. Here's the transfer switch. Like I said, we're imagining that there's no power to the house. So you're going to turn off the main coming into the house, then you put the switch up like this. Then, okay, now we've got power going into the panel from the generator. You might have heard it kick down a tiny bit behind me, but it's still going pretty good. So now we're going to pretend it's winter time. I want to get my furnace going. And now I've got power to my furnace right here. It's probably the middle of January, February, and keep my pipes from freezing, keep the house warm. We can stay in it. So now we can keep the house warm, and then have a few lights running upstairs. It's going to be perfectly fine with the generator. Everything's running as it should be. So once the power comes back on, you just kind of reverse the procedure. So the only way you're going to really know if the power came on is to look across the street, see if there's some street lights on the street that were out prior to this. And with the transfer switch, you're going to, hit the breaker over. Now we just killed power to the house. And then you're going to hit the main. And what this does is it prevents both circuits being operable at once. So there's no way you can bring the transfer switch, disables the breaker coming in for the generator. Now the main is back on, and then you can kind of start turning on everything you need to turn on. They had shut off, so you can put your double pulls back on, get the house back up and running. So kind of want to just show you and demo what's involved with doing this. If you wanted to have your house wired, have a licensed electrician do it. Don't do it on your own. Electricity is a whole different ball of yarn, and you have to have things set up the right way. But this is the proper way to do it. You don't want to, like I said in the beginning of the video, just go from a generator, into a circuit that goes right in the boiler with no breakers in between or anything like that. That's not really the safest way to do it. But this is something like this is. Hope you guys liked the video. If you have any comments, leave a question, and I'll reply back to you. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video if you liked it. Thanks for watching, guys.